wanting a place to hide this weary soul. These vagabonds, and I try with all my might, but I just can't when the find I'm slowly drifting. Oh vagabond. And just when I ran out of road, I met a man I didn't know, and he told me that I was not alone. He picked me up and turned me around. He placed my feet on solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because he healed my heart and changed my name. Forever free, I'm not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, I thank God. I cannot deny what I see. Got no choice but to believe. My doubts are burning like ashes in the wind. So long to my old friend, burden and bitterness, you can't just keep it moving. No, you ain't welcome here. From now till I walk the streets of gold, I'll sing about you who saved my soul. This wayward son has found his way back. Another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free. Are you free? I am, come on, sing it. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Yeah. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Hell lost another one, I am free, I am free, I am free. Hell lost another one, I am free, oh I am free. You turn me around, you place my feet on solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because he healed my heart and changed my name. Forever free, I'm not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, I thank God. Make some noise in the room.
took a breath.